And I can pretty much guarantee that if your horse is strong, you're missing this little piece, which is if you feel pressure on the left side of your jaw, give to the pressure and the pressure of the bit goes away. Pressure, release. Pressure, release. That is all of what training is about. What type of bit should you use for your horse? This is a big topic, and I'm just going to skim the surface, but help you understand a little bit more about different types of bits, how they function, and then hopefully give you some clarity to help you find a bit that is comfortable and suitable for your horse. I want to preface this by saying that changing your bit is not going to solve your problem. And sometimes we all get into that like, oh, well, I'm just going to put a different bit on and my horse is going to go round or soft. That isn't the case. So you do need to consider that training is like the #1 thing, and correctly training your horse how to soften, how to give to the pressure of the bit is more important than just trying a new bit on your horse. If you need more help with getting your horse supple, soft, and correctly using their top line, click the link below, check out my 30-day to round challenge where I take you step by step through the training process of correctly teaching your horse to accept the contact. In 30 days to round, you are going to learn how to get your horse supple, soft, and correctly using their top line. I remember when I was first learning how to ride, I just could not get my horse round. I was frustrated, so was my horse. In my gut, I knew that I was doing something seriously wrong, but I just didn't know the correct steps to take to teach my horse how to accept the bit. In 30 days to round, you are going to learn a proven system that has worked to transform thousands of horses and riders just like you. With over 30 step-by-step exercises, you are going to know exactly what to do with your horse every single day. Not only that, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret of mine and show you how to teach your horse to accept the bit before you even get in the saddle. I'm going to be going live every single week to teach you the theory behind the exercises that you are doing. There's a private Facebook group with live Q&A sessions, there's a workbook, there's a before and after assessment. You will have all the support and hand-holding that you need to really make progress with your horse during the 30-day to round challenge. I know you might be saying, but Amelia, my horse curls, or my horse is hot, or my horse is lazy. Don't worry, I have special training plans for each individual horse's problems, personalities, and special needs. This is going to save you time and effort so that you know exactly which exercises will work best for your horse. And if that isn't enough, we're also doing a $10,000 cash giveaway to the top 5 transformations during the 30-day challenge, just to give you a little extra motivation. Get ready to make more progress with your horse in the next 30 days than you have all year. All you need to do is click the link below and get instant access to the program. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to show you a little tip for how I introduce and teach my horses to give to pressure, especially if you have a young horse or a horse that isn't used to having a bit in their mouth. So first off, let's start off with what kind of bit should you use for your horse? And my basic starter bit that I use with all my young horses is a snaffle bit. And here are a bunch of different types of snaffle bits. Kind of my go-to with most of my horses is a loose ring double jointed snaffle bit. And I like this bit because it allows you to really be able to use your left and your right reins independently, right? So if you want a little more flexion left, you can use the left side and that will put a little pressure on the left bar. If you want your horse to flex to the right, you can flex the right side. So you can see how this bit allows for a lot of communication with your horse, and yet it's still soft and it doesn't have any leverage to it. So that's kind of my go-to bit that I use on, I would say, most all of my horses. And like I mentioned, I'm just giving you like a really big overview. Now here's the second type of bit. So what you'll notice is different about this bit is this is what we call an egg butt bit, right? So it has like this shape, an egg kind of shape to the side of it, I guess, as opposed to a loose ring. This bit is good if you have a horse that's kind of fussy or a young horse that needs more stability in the bit and that needs more help turning. Now you'll also notice that this bit only has a single joint. And so what's different about a single joint is that a single joint has a bit more of the nutcracker effect. So this is what we mean by the nutcracker effect. And what this means is that when it's on your horse's tongue and you pull on the contact, that the bit can fold like this, and it can put a little bit more pressure on the roof of your horse's mouth. And it can also a little bit at times pinch their tongue. So it just depends on your horse though. Some horses prefer a single joint, some horses prefer a double joint. It really depends on the conformation of your horse's mouth. And some horses have a higher palate. Some horses are really fleshy and have like big lips and a big tongue. So you may have to experiment a little bit for what works for your horse. This next bit is a happy mouth bit, and I've really had good luck with using this bit for horses that are super light in the contact, horses that just, like, you can't get them to take the contact at all. There is a little bit of flex, so it's plastic and it is flexible. And this bit gives a lot of stability and is wonderful for those horses that tend to curl and that you just can't get them to take the contact. So that's a quick overview of snaffle bits. And I do always start my horses in snaffle bits. You never want to start them with leverage bits like a pelham or a curb bit like we have on a double bridle. So this is my dirty double bridle. I rode in it this morning. But in a double bridle, you have a snaffle bit and you also have a curb bit. Now a curb bit has leverage. So what this means is that you see this lever here. So when you pull on this lever, it increases the pressure in your horse's mouth. And that's why we say that it has leverage. So it's really important that you're aware of how much pressure you can put on your horse. And a good little exercise is you can put this on your arm or on your shin and pull on it, and then you can see how much pressure you're putting. The other thing that is tricky about these leverage bits is that they're not really good for lateral flexion. So if you need to get your horse bending side to side, which is a very important prerequisite for young horses, because of the way the bit lays in your horse's mouth and because there isn't a joint in the middle, you really can't get lateral flexion. So the curb bit helps flex at the pull and get your horse's nose in, but it's not so good for lateral side to side suppleness. Okay, so now I have bridled Mr. Mick here. He is in a loose ring double jointed snaffle, and I do like to have a noseband and a flash on just because it provides stability. So it's not super tight, but it's enough that he doesn't open his mouth or put his tongue over the bit, because if your horse puts their tongue over the bit, that's going to be really uncomfortable for them. If you're having trouble getting your horse to accept the bit, if your horse is fussy or strong or not listening to the bit, you want to go back to this very simple thing. So you're going to stand beside your horse, position yourself behind the shoulder so that your horse doesn't back up, or so that if they do back up, you can back up with them. And then you're just going to take a little light contact on your inside rein. And you're going to take that contact, and then the second your horse turns their head like he does, you're going to give to the contact. So you'd be surprised how many horses, when you take pressure on the bit, they just lean into the bit. And Mick, he's being a very good boy, but you can see how little contact it takes, right? So I'm just going to take a little pressure on the inside rein and wait If he doesn't give, I can move my finger a little like I would do under saddle. There, he gave. Good boy. Good boy. But so many times we're like kicking and pulling and kicking and pulling, and we're wondering why our horse is leaning into the bit. And I can pretty much guarantee that if your horse is strong, you're missing this little piece, which is if you feel pressure on the left side of your jaw, give to the pressure and the pressure of the bit goes away. Pressure, release. Pressure, release. That is all of what training is about. So I hope that this video has helped you. And if you're having trouble, if your horse isn't giving to the contact, if your horse is hollow and stiff and heavy, click the link below, sign up for the 30-day to round challenge. I'm going to take you step by step through how to get your horse supple, soft, and correctly using their top line, especially if you have a horse that doesn't know how to go round or that doesn't accept the bit and that doesn't give the neck like this with Mr. Mick. And we do recommend, if you are in 30 days to round, we highly recommend using Snaffle Bits, or we also accept any type of hackamore or bitless bridles. Those are also acceptable. But do make sure that you get your horse soft laterally with the snaffle bit before you introduce any type of a leverage bit like a curb or a pelham or anything like that. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out the 30-day to round challenge. It starts September 15th.